Hey guys, welcome back to another day. Today is April 1st, 2020, and we have another round of notes. Today we're going to start 8.5, and it's called Factoring with GCF. Some of you guys might already know what that is, but if not, we're going to go over it, so don't worry. First, let's talk about what a factor is. You've probably heard that word before. A factor is something that multiplies with something else to get a product. To get a product. And product just means an answer to a multiplication problem. Okay, so we're going to be multiplying again in this. Let's go ahead and start with example 1. I'll show you what we're going to do here. There are 4 parts to this example, so we'll start with part A. Say we're given 15W minus 3V. Okay, we are going to try to factor out the GCF. Okay, what that means is the GCF, I'll write it over here. It means the greatest common factor. So we want something that multiplies to get these things over here, the biggest one. So I'll show you what I mean. Let's write all the factors of 15 and all the factors of 3. So what things multiply to get 15 and what things multiply to get 3? Well, 15 we have 1 and 15 and 3 and 5. Okay, and for 3 it's just 1 and 3. So GCF means the greatest common factor. What's the greatest one there? That would be 3. So what we do is we come over here, we put 3 on the outside, and then we put some parentheses. On the inside is going to be what's left over in these two things that we divide. Okay, so what I mean is, we took 3 out. It's on the outside over here. What did we divide 15 by to get 3? 15 divided by 3 is 5. So inside is kind of like what's left over after you divide 3 out. Okay, the W just stays there. And here, 3 divided by 3 is just 1. And the V stays where it is. So basically this is just take what they have in common out and then write what's left over on the inside. Okay, I'm going to rewrite that without the 1 because it means the same thing. Okay, if you're confused, I'm going to slow it down and we'll do it again for part B. Part B is 27y squared plus 18y. So let's find out what 27 and 18 have in common. Let's list their factors over here. We have 1 and 27 and 3 and 9. All of those things multiply to get 27. For 18 we have 1 and 18. We have 2 times 9 and 3 times 6. So now we have to find the biggest one that they have in common, and that is 9. So 9 goes here on the outside. Then make your parentheses. Before we go to the inside, is there anything else that these two things have in common? What do they both have next to them? They both have a y. So outside, the y is going to join the 9. So basically, 9y is what these two things have in common. So on the inside, let's write what they have left over. So we took a 9 away from 27. 27 divided by 9 is 3. If we took 1y away from y squared, there's still 1 left. Okay, over here, 18 divided by 9 is 2. And we took 1y away, so there's nothing with the 2. That y left. Here's what factoring is, guys. Factoring is basically the reverse of what we've been doing. So let's use the distributive property for this and double check that it's right. We should get this answer right here. Let's double check. Use your distributive property. 9y times 3y. 9 times 3 is 27. And then you got y times y is y squared. And then we have 9 times 2 is 18y. Look at that. It's the same answer as up here. That's what we're doing. We're kind of doing the reverse of what we have been doing, which is multiplying using the distributive property. I'm going to erase all this. That was just to kind of show you what we're doing here. But that is how you do it. You ask, what do these things have in common? And you take that out. And then you write what's left over on the inside. So let's do this next one. 20t minus 16t squared. Okay, you don't really have to do this step over here if you don't want to. You can if you want, but if you can just see what they have in common, you can use it that way too. I'm going to go ahead and put what they have over here, their factors, but if you can go ahead and put the answer without listing the factors, you can do that as well. So 20 has 1 and 20, 2 and 10, and 4 and 5. 16 has 1 and 16, 2 and 8, and 4 and 4. Okay, so let's pick the biggest one they have in common, and that is 4. What I mean is, if you could already tell by looking at these two that they had 4 in common, then you can go ahead and write that without listing this part over here if you want. But completely up to you. Let's put the 4 on the outside. Do they have anything else in common? They do. They have a t. 1t. Right? Because this has t squared, and this just has 1t. So they both don't have a t squared, but they both do have 1t. Let's write what's left over. On the inside, we have a 20 divided by 4, which is 5. That t's gone. One of these t's is gone. 16 divided by 4 is 4. We just have 1t left. Okay, let's do one more example. This one's going to be a little bit harder. 7u squared t squared plus 21 ut squared minus ut. Okay, so let's list all of these coefficients. We have 3, we have a trinomial here. So we have a 7, we have a 21, and we just have a 1. 7 is 1 and 7. 21 is 1 and 21. 3 and 7. And 1 just multiplies by itself. So the biggest one they have here is 1. And technically 1 doesn't really count. So we're not going to have any numbers on the outside this time. You can put a 1 if you want, but a 1 doesn't really mean anything. But do they have any letters in common? They both have at least one U and at least one T. I'm going to erase my 1 on the outside here because I don't really want that. So do you see that they all have at least one u and they all have at least one t? So go ahead and make your parentheses. Let's write what they have left on the inside. So after we take away a u, this has a 7 still. It has one u left. And it has one t left. What about if we take those away from the middle term? We still have a 21. This u is gone, but we still have one t. And here, we took away this u and this t. So if we don't have anything left, we put -1. You still have to put a -1 there because it's not just 0. There's still something. Okay, so those are our notes for today. I will give you guys some practice problems to do tomorrow, but for right now, just look over these notes and start to get familiar